Good afternoon. My name is Chun and this is Kubo News. In this weekly recap, we will be discussing the forever-lasting dispute on the Montagues and the Capulets. We now go to Lucas Chun to report on the latest feud between the two.
On the streets of Verona, Capulet servants Gregory and Samson picked a fight with Montague servants Benvolio and Abraham. Due to Samson aggravating the Montagues, a Montague servant was injured in the brawl and immediately given medical attention. The prince arrived in time to break up the fight. He told everyone that if another fight were to happen again in the streets, many would be killed. The Capulets decided to host a party after the fight. We are now on the phone with a person who was present at the Capulets party.
Yeah, hi. So I was at the Capulets party and I could have sworn that I saw Romeo from the Montagues and Juliet from the Capulets on the side making out. I heard Romeo saying something about let our lips do what prayer hands do. I'm not sure what that was all about, but it was pretty weird.
Thank you, anonymous caller. We now tune in with OnlySuji with the latest gossip.
Earlier this week, I interviewed Juliet's nurse to discuss the events the night of the Capulet party. Here I am with Juliet's nurse.
Oh my gosh, I love Juliet so much. She's my precious angel. I've known her since she was a little nugget. She's the cutest thing in the world.
Juliet, Capulet, and Romeo Montague were seen at the party last night together. Later on, Romeo's friends noticed him missing. Was Romeo with Juliet after the party?
My Juliet? Isn't she so gorgeous? I'm sure all the boys in the whole kingdom would want to marry her like Romeo.
Romeo Montague and Juliet Capulet are planning on getting married?
Oh my. I may have said too much.
I am now with Romeo's father, Friar Laurence. Friar, what were your thoughts about marrying the two children of rival families at such a young age?
Well, at first I was like, heck nah. But then I saw the opportunity to bring the two families together. I was like, okay.
Thank you for your time, Friar. Thanks to the friar and nurse, we can now conclude that the children of the two rival families are getting married without their parents' consent.
Here in Verona's public square, we have Mercutio and Tybalt dead from a sword fight between Mercutio, Tybalt, and Romeo. During the fight, Tybalt stabbed and killed Mercutio. Romeo then sought revenge for Mercutio's death and killed Tybalt in rage. Later, the prince arrived and banished Romeo from Verona after much discussion about his punishment. Romeo's lover, Juliet, is devastated after hearing the news about Romeo and asks her nurse to find him. Friar Laurence consoled Romeo on his exilement and gave him reasons why he should be glad that his punishment was not death. Lord and Lady Capulet discussed Juliet's marriage with Paris. They told her that she'll be married to Paris on Thursday. Juliet doesn't want to marry him since she is already married to Romeo. The nurse protected Juliet from her father's wrath, but she too agreed that Juliet should marry Paris. She then heads to the friar for advice on her situation. We now go to Kylie Tenoy.
Juliet was found dead in her bed, found by her nurse. Many were brought in for questioning, but the only one who had answers was Friar Laurence. He was the fifth person to be brought in to be questioned about the killing of Juliet. He told reporters that he gave a potion to her that will make her unconscious for 42 hours. After the 42 hours, she would awaken and her and Romeo would run off together. Friar told us the only people who know about this plan was him, Juliet, and supposedly Romeo. Shin Lockhart reports on the tragic happenings.
In the Capulet's tomb, Romeo stands next to Juliet's body, who is in a deep coma. Romeo believes she is dead and has a drug to kill himself. After killing himself, his body lies next to Juliet's body. Juliet then wakes up, and in depression, she grabs Romeo's dagger and kills herself. Thank you for tuning in to Kubo News. This is Shin Lockhart.
Lucas Chun.
Emily Suji.
Connor Yoshimoto.
And Kylie Tenoy, signing off.